now there's only one. So, are you gonna fight like the rest of your party? Or are you gonna cooperate? Finally, a human with some common sense. You humans and your adventurers. You glorify constantly sending these raiding parties of heroes to just wholesale slaughter my kind, steal our treasure and artifacts, and destroy our settlements. And then you have the nerve to act like you're victims when we defend ourselves. At least you have the sense to give up. I guess seeing your friends get turned into raw meat by our warriors changed your mind on a few things, didn't it? Wanna know what we're gonna do with you? We're gonna make great money from selling you, that's what. Maybe it'll make up for a fraction of what your kind has stolen from us. You know, you'd be surprised just how much other monsters are willing to pay for the chance to have their very own human slave. What do they do with them? Well, that depends on the tastes of the buyer. Some buy you for pleasure, some buy you to just torture you, and some buy you as regular old servants. The luckiest ones, though, are bought by collectors or nobles. Usually, they keep them as trophy pets. Inhumane. We're not humans. And you're murderers to us. And you ransack our lives and culture for your own glory. I know what you humans do to goblins that you capture. You should be thankful we only sell you. If you think being agreeable is going to make us give you special treatment, you're wrong. So what are you, some kind of bard? That's good to know. Having certain skills makes you more appealing to some buyers, especially if you have any abilities beyond combat. And you look pretty young and fit, too. Probably 24 or so human years, if I had to guess. So far, you're getting pretty lucky, kid. Being young and healthy brings in some more high-priced buyers. Means they'll be able to get enjoyment out of you for a long time. Provided it's not a sadistic monster who goes overboard while playing with you. More often than you'd think. It's not like a regular occurrence, but it happens enough that it wouldn't surprise me if it did end up happening to you. Some monsters just get carried away and they kind of forget that humans don't have any real regenerative ability compared to monsters. It's a shame, too. There's a lot of resale value for your kind, even if you're heavily used. Not to mention all the utility having a human around can bring. Given that they've been properly trained for their role, of course. Looks like the reality of the situation's starting to sink in for you, huh? I'd guess you've only been on a few raids, right? Still a little new to all the blood and death and horror? At least you don't seem like the type to enjoy doing this stuff. I guess I can't think of you as being quite as guilty as the rest of your party. That lot was rotten to the core. How'd some sweet kid fall in with them, of all people? Don't you humans have some kind of guild or something to organize this stuff? I mean, you make a big enough show of cruelty that I assume there's agencies and some kind of structure, right? Ouch. They're the only group that would take you on, huh? Well, Well, judging by how badly we butchered them, I guess they didn't have the highest skill requirements. How brutal. I didn't expect you to agree with me. Well, I'm glad you're a little more self-aware than them. The whole time we were fighting, they were yelling about how great and powerful they are, and Goblin scum this, and the power of humans that, and oh, what a bunch of idiots. What? They actually said that on the way here. Wow, that's embarrassing. Show you how it's done, huh? Well, do you feel like you know how it's done now? Yeah, watching us fight was probably a lot more educational than watching them. You know, for a human, you're pretty funny. I'm so used to most of my captives needing to be restrained and caged up while they scream insults at our kind and make violent threats. But you're a pretty human. I like that. You know, it doesn't have to be so violent between us, but your people are just so damn stupid and angry. This was supposed to be professional, but you had to go and be enjoyable to talk to. Okay, maybe I'll put in a good word for you so you have a higher chance of being offered to a collector. I can't make any promises, though. Me buy you? Oof. Kid, you really have no concept of your own worth. That's what your therapist says, too? I don't really know what that means, but you're going to be far too expensive for me to bid on. You really don't comprehend how badly humans have impacted our economy. Kind of hard to keep an established system in place when literally everything is burned down to the ground every couple of years. It's not your fault specifically. You probably didn't have much of a choice from what I'm gathering. It's not like I hate all humans. I mean, I know you're not all bloodthirsty and cruel. In fact, I usually order my men not to attack unless they're attacked first. Hell, you're not even the first human prisoner I've gotten along with. Of course, that was a long time ago, and unfortunately, they got unlucky and went to a pretty cruel buyer who did exactly what I described, and they got carried away with their punishments. Poor guy really didn't deserve to go out like he did. But that's where things are at. Last couple attempts at making some sort of peace or understanding ended up with our messengers being put on a pike as a warning at your town gate. The last time was kind of funny to me for personal reasons, though. Huh? Well, the messenger that was sent was my shitty ex. Who's too dramatic now, Arthur? Okay, maybe that's in bad taste. Anyway, time for you to come along with us. My men finished looting your buddies, so it's time to get back to the village. We'll get you cleaned up and looking sellable, record all your info, and put the word out that we've got another human available. And don't worry, I won't forget to give you a little recommendation. Oh, and if it's any consolation, I would buy you if I could. Hopefully you end up having it easy, kid.